Now, there's no scientific evidence proving that anti-parasitic drug Ivermectin's efficacy in the treatment of mild COVID-19. That's according to the findings of a peer-reviewed study that was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Well, last month, a group of South African medical practitioners launched an urgent court application to be allowed to prescribe the drug to their patients. In reaction to this, we're chatting now to Dr. Naseeba Kathrada from the COVID Home Management Team. Dr. Kathrada, good morning. Thanks so much for your time. You're on the other side of this argument. You've been advocating for the use of Ivermectin. So what are you doing regarding these new developments?
Well, firstly, the fact that it was the article was published in JAMA is a huge thing, because that journal is actually one of the most cited journals for any medical person. So if you look to that, it's like gospel for what they say. However, if you take some time to actually read the study that was published, there are so many holes in that study. Firstly, and I'd like to highlight, so at the bottom, they tell you who paid for the study to be done. So it was GlaxoSmithKline, Sanofi, and Janssen. Those names sound familiar? Those are the same people who are involved in the vaccine trials. And I'm quite sure Merck was there as well. And Merck has also joined Janssen now for doing vaccines. The Janssen is Johnson & Johnson. The other things about that study is that the study was done on a group of fairly young people. So the median age was 37, and it was only in a group of people that had mild symptoms. Now, we're in this pandemic for over a year. The one thing we do know is that 80% of people will have mild to moderate illness and will recover. So whether they took ivermectin or anything else, those people will recover. And the study findings actually had to change, because initially the study was supposed to be for people who had mild symptoms, a double-blinded control study, which means some people got ivermectin and some people did not. And they were going to see days to worsening symptoms. So how long does it take for people who are on ivermectin to worsen symptoms, and how long for people who are not on ivermectin to worsen symptoms? And then they suddenly realize, hey, wait a minute, nobody's getting worse, everyone's getting better. So let's change the study, which is done sometimes during a trial. You have to fill in paperwork, et cetera, to get your protocol changed, which they did. But let's highlight that. They changed it to see how quickly people get better. But that was a change in the middle of the study, which is huge. And then also the study goes to show the side effects. And the side effects profile in the ivermectin group was actually less than the placebo group. But then wait, there's a big whopper. Somewhere around September, October, the pharmacist was dishing out these samples to the people who were managed at home, by the way. They were not in a hospital setting. They were not in a controlled environment. They were given a suspension to take home. So we know ivermectin comes in tablets. So they were not given ivermectin tablets. They were given a suspension. They had to take it home, and the only way that they knew compliance was when they brought back empty bottles. So this person is gone home for X amount of days. They come back with an empty bottle. And just because they got an empty bottle, you're going to say that that person took the ivermectin? That's the first thing. Second thing is the pharmacist was dishing out this suspension, suddenly realized, wait a minute, for 2 weeks between October, I think it was 29th, and November something, 15th, all the people got ivermectin. They made a mistake, and they gave everybody ivermectin. So they go, okay, so we corrected for that, we removed all the people. But if it happened once, how do we know it didn't happen again? And here's the biggest thing that I saw when I read the study. It was the doses that they were using in the ivermectin suspension, which we don't know too much about, was higher than what we are advocating to be used, and nobody died. Nobody had adverse side effects, which the study actually shows ivermectin is a safe drug. It's a safe drug. That's what the study showed me.
So what needs to happen now then, Dr. Kathrada? I mean, we've had, yes, like you say, some people touting the side effects, some talking about blindness, and of course we have to bring in doses, and were these people doing it responsibly and all of that. So what needs to happen now if ivermectin, as you say, has been proven to work in other cases to treat this, to treat COVID-19? What's the next step here? Because we know South African authorities also have to come to the party and have been asked to come to the party on this one and do what's necessary.
Well, ivermectin is used to treat river blindness. It doesn't cause blindness. And there's always that thing where everyone says it causes blindness. It's actually used to treat river blindness. So what the thing is, we're not like the FLCCC or other countries where we're asking the government to put it on our treatment protocol. No. Here in South Africa, we are so many steps behind. We are asking for it to be unbanned. Remember, on the 22nd of December, SAHPRA banned ivermectin, which means the only the place you can get it currently is illegally on the black market. And the black market is flourishing with ivermectin. So then we made an appeal, and we had an off-record meeting with SAHPRA, and they said, no, give us a few days, we're going to come up with a program. And what was the program? It was that Compassionate Controlled Access Program. And let me tell you, I've done 7 7 applications thus far. Starting off on the 20th of January up until 2 days ago, I have not got a single approval for any of my single-use applications, which means if I want to give it to you, for example, or to a single patient, I have not got approval. I do have an approval for bulk use, which means I can get a whole lot of stock in. But wait, I am a non-dispensing doctor, which means that I don't have a dispensing license. If I want to give a drug to a patient, I don't give them a script. So because I'm a non-dispensing doctor, I can't even get access to this bulk approval that I got. But even if I was a dispensing doctor, there is no stock. The current stock that has come into South Africa from Bangladesh and from wherever SAHPRA has approved it, those drugs that are here have to undergo testing. So right now they said in an emergency situation, I'm allowed to give the drug from a legal source to my patient, but there's no legal source. Making it available and making it accessible are two different things. So we're taking SAHPRA to court to say, make this process simple and make it efficient. So if you're telling me I can give the drug under these circumstances, make the drug available and accessible. So there's 4 groups that are going to court. We are a group called I Can Make a Difference, a group of doctors, ACDP, AfriForum, and a new group that has a pharmacist called Pharma Value have added on. And the judge, Qasim Sadiwala, who has been appointed by the deputy judge president, has said that all ivermectin matters, come hell or high water, will be heard on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of March. So we will know by then. So we're busy with lots of paperwork, and we will know by then what the ruling is.
All right, well, hopefully we'll be able to touch base with you then, Doc, and we'll let you go now because we understand you're due in theatre. You have a patient on the table waiting for you. Thank you so much for that, and we'll continue to keep track of that story.